Good morning everyone. Welcome to the lecture 3 of micro engineering. This is analysis of a transmission line taken by myself, that is Balwant Makwana. Now earlier to this lecture, that is in lecture number 2, what we have seen is we are having a transmission line and we want to analyze the transmission line, but we cannot apply the KCL and KVL. So what we have done is we have taken a very small portion of a transmission line and we have modeled this into the equivalent parameter. These are the primary parameter, these are the distributed parameters. So we have taken the small portion and we have modeled this into this model, which consists of distributed parameter R, L, G and C, where R accounts for all the losses in the transmission line. Then L is due to the magnetic field. Current carrying conductor will produce a magnetic field. So whenever there will be current carrying conductor, there will be magnetic field, and that will be accounted for this L. So L is the inductance per unit meter, that is Henry per meter of a transmission line. That is a small section of a transmission line. Now now these are not ideal lines. So G represent the conductance of a transmission line. So whatever the current leakage from one conductor to other, that will be represented by G. The unit will be mho per meter. Then we are having a capacitance because these are two parallel conductor which are separated by either air or any dielectric material. So this can be represented as a capacitance. So this will be the capacitance per unit length, or you can say this will be the farad per meter. So these are the four distributed parameter we have taken into account in the modeling of the transmission line. Now in this lecture, that is lecture number 3, what we'll do is we want to analyze this transmission line. So for the analysis, we will apply KCL and KVL into the smaller section of line, and then we'll find out its solution in terms of a voltage and current. So we'll first write voltage and current equation and we'll solve that equation. From that we'll define certain constant like propagation constant, then we are having attenuation constant, phase shift constant, and various other concepts we'll go through. So this is the basic outline of this lecture. Now we'll move to the the solution of a that is voltage and current equation for a small section of a line. So this equivalent model we already seen in previous lecture, which consists of we are providing some input voltage at the this is the input section, we are providing voltage at the input side and we are taking output at the this side. In between this we are having the distributed parameter. We are only taking a small section of line which is along the x axis. So we have written this will be delta x. So L delta x, R delta x, so it will be the inductance per unit length. These are the distributed parameter as we have seen earlier. So these are inductance per unit length, resistance per unit length, capacitance per unit length, and conductance per unit length. Now consider a small section of a transmission line like this. Now we want to find out voltage and current relation between input and output side. So this voltage drop will be along the series arm. So the voltage drop will be in L and R. So it will be there will be the voltage drop here, and the current drop will be in G and C. So we'll write the voltage and current equation. So this is the model just we have seen. Now we'll write the voltage and current equation. Now voltage at the input, there will be voltage drop as well as there will be current drop in this arm. So the output voltage and current will be different from the input one. So there will always be less current or voltage because it is dropped across the this parameter, primary parameter. So we'll write the solution. We will write the voltage and current equation. So this change in voltage at the output, this voltage drop or delta V will be equal to, this is minus, the sign will be minus because it is voltage drop or current drop. So voltage drop, it will be minus R delta x plus j omega L delta x. multiply by current I. So this will be the voltage, and similarly we can write the change in voltage, that is delta I will be once again this will be minus because it will be lesser than the actual amount. So delta, this is the this is minus, so now current drop will be across C and G. So this will be G delta X plus J omega C delta X, and this will be V. So these are the voltage and current equation. Now since we have taken a very small section of a line, that's why we are having a delta X. Now we'll simplify this, we'll take delta X common from this. So we'll write, let us take, this is my equation number 1, this will be equation number 2. In equation number 1 we'll take delta X common, so this will be minus R, and I'll write I here, this will be R plus J omega L and delta X. Similarly we are having a I is equal to minus V G plus J omega C delta X. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll simplify once again. So this delta X will be in the, we'll take this delta X here, so we'll remove this. So this will be delta V by delta X. Now we have taken a very small section of a line, so now this equation will be valid for complete transmission line. So what we'll do is we'll take the limit where delta X tends to 0, limit, in the limit delta X tends to 0. These two equations would satisfy in all the transmission line, sorry. So now delta V by delta X is what? This will be equal to dV by dx. So what we'll do is dV by dx, we'll write this as a dV by dx is equal to minus I R plus J omega L. Similarly for current we'll write di by dx is equal to minus V G plus J omega C. So these are our two equations. Let us take, this is my equation number 3 and this will be equation number 4. So these represent, now we are having a current and voltage, you can see the relation between voltage and current. Here also it will be current and voltage. So at higher frequency what is happening, at the lower frequency what we'll have is, we are having Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. So these are linear, this is linear relationship, V is equal to IR, or any circuit will be there, then there will be a linear relationship between voltage and current. So this will be at low frequency, but as you go at high frequency, the relationship between current and voltage will change. So actually now this relationship will be a differential relationship. This voltage and current are related with differential equation. It no longer have the linear relationship. Now from this we also cannot draw any conclusion. Only we can know is, now the relationship at high frequency will be a differential one. Now we'll simplify this. So what we'll do for simplification, we'll do differentiation with respect to x. So we'll differentiate equation number 3 and equation number 4 with respect to x. So what it will do is, it will be d square v by dx square is equal to, it will be di by dx and r plus j omega L. This will be minus. Similarly for current we'll have d square I by dx square is equal to minus dv by dx and G plus j omega c. Now we already know this di by dx from this, and we'll substitute this di by dx from equation number 4. So we'll solve first for voltage. D square V by dx square is equal to minus will get plus, so this will be plus this V, then multiply by j omega c multiply by r plus j omega l. Similarly for current, we will be having d square I by dx square is equal to, now we will substitute dv by dx from equation number 3, and minus will get cancelled, so we will have I into g plus j omega c multiply by r plus j omega l. Now by seeing this we can see that now voltage will be related to voltage. It is in this side we will have d square v by dx square, and in the opposite side we will have v. So the second order differential equation, it will form a second order differential equation. So d square I, if we will take in this side, before this we will define one parameter. Let us take, this is something, we will define this as a gamma square. Now this is called propagation constant. So we are having this solution. Now we have defined one more parameter, that is gamma square. So gamma square will be equal to, gamma square is equal to, this will be equal to g plus j omega c multiply by r plus j omega l. This is our gamma square, that is called as propagation constant of a line. Propagation constant of a transmission line. So this is actually a complex quantity, so we will denote gamma is equal to alpha plus j beta. Gamma is equal to alpha plus j beta is equal to under root g plus j omega c into r plus j omega l. So the real part of propagation constant is alpha. We will define alpha and beta later. So the real part of propagation constant is alpha, and the imaginary section, because this is a complex quantity in general, so we are defining alpha and beta, where alpha is the real part of a propagation constant and beta is a imaginary part of a propagation constant. So this is the propagation constant. Now we will move further into our analysis. So we will replace this term with gamma square. So this equation will become d square I by dx square, and we will take this into this side, so this will be minus gamma square I equal to 0. Similarly, we will get a voltage equation. This will be delta square V by dx square minus gamma square V is equal to 0. So we will get two set of equation. We will write once again. We got d square I by di square, and wait for a second. So we got two sets of equation, that is del square V by dx square minus gamma square V is equal to 0. That will be for voltage, and similarly for current. Now this is second order differential equation. So the solution of this second order differential equation is, this is second order homogeneous differential equation. So the solution will be, this will be delta V, or V will be equal to, or Vx will be equal to V plus e raised to minus gamma x plus V minus e raised to plus gamma x. Similarly for current, we'll have Ix is equal to I plus e raised to minus gamma x plus I minus e raised to minus plus gamma x. So this is the solution of this two differential equation, d square I by dx square minus gamma square x is equal to 0. So gamma square I is equal to 0. So these are the solution of this voltage and current. Now this V plus, V minus, I plus and I minus are derived by applying the boundary condition or initial condition in the circuit. So we'll get this parameter, this V plus, V minus, I plus and I minus, this constant will derive. Now okay, so we'll move further. So this is the voltage equation and this is current equation. Now inherently this equation will have a these are with respect to time also. So we'll implicit will multiply this with e raised to j omega t. It means these are also with respect to, these are also varying with respect to time. So this is e raised to j omega t multiply by this solution. So this will be, let us take for voltage, we are having V plus e raised to minus gamma x into e raised to j omega t plus V minus e raised to plus gamma x e raised to j omega t. Similarly for current, we'll have I plus e raised to gamma x minus gamma x into e raised to j omega t plus I minus e raised to minus gamma x e raised to j omega t. Now gamma is what? It is alpha plus j beta. So we'll write once again, this will be V plus e raised to minus alpha x into e raised to minus j beta x into e raised to j omega t. This is for Vx plus, similarly we are having V minus e raised to alpha x into e raised to beta x j beta x into e raised to j omega t. Similarly we can write this equation for current. Now we'll simplify this further. So we are having this solutions. So this voltage will take a small break and then we will move further.